Alright, what's going on? What I've decided to do, or try to do, for people who's interested in, who's interested in riding motorcycles, is just show you the basics of riding a motorcycle. Before I go any further, I am just a novice rider. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an expert by no means necessary. But I do have enough skill, I believe, to help you beginners at least get to the point where you can get your license and you can start doing all that shit on your own, for you new riders out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to go over the basics of riding a motorcycle if this is your first one, especially if you're starting on something kind of big like a 600. It was my first bike, so I had to learn, and it wasn't really that hard. Just had to be very careful. So bear with me on my segments here. So I'm gonna call this lesson 1, and this lesson is going to cover pretty much the controls of the bike, where things are, and things that are important for you to know as far as when you get on the bike. Alright, so, and I know for my more experienced riders, they probably catch me missing some of the little things, but I'm gonna go over some of the more basic stuff. Alright, so number 1 here, this is your clutch on your left handlebar right here. This is your clutch right here. This is what you use to change gears. You pull this in, this kind of puts it in neutral, right? And down here on your left peg, left foot, this is your clutch. All right. You got one down, 5 up. All right. And 1 down is in first, half a step up is neutral, and then the next half is second, and then you keep on clutching up until you get to 6th. Okay. It's very important that you know that where that neutral is. Neutral is like not all the way at the bottom. You go bottom, half up. And usually when you go in neutral, most bikes have a green neutral light up here that gets illuminated when it's in neutral. Over here, you also have your turn signals and your horn and pretty much your lights, your high beam and your low beam. That's how most bikes are set up. Some bikes have hazard signals, some don't. And it's very important you understand how to use these controls. You know, the very basics. Because your turn signals, they're not self-canceling. So it's not like a car when you turn it all the way to the left, turn it all the way to the right, and they click off for you. No, it doesn't work that way. On a bike, I do it all the time. It's probably a lot of other people do it too. But in order to cancel a signal, you got to press down the button, and then it turns off. Then you pretty much push whichever direction you want to go, push it in to cancel it. All right. On to the other side here, and over here on your right grip is your throttle and your front brake, and down here on your foot peg is your rear brake. All right. I tell everybody right now that your front brake is a lot more powerful than your rear brake. Just be aware that you do not want to grab a handful of front brake while riding, because you will flip your bike. It's very, very important that you know how to use your brakes, which I will go over later on. Over here, you got your starter switch and your kill switch. This right here is your kill switch. As you can see, you got like a C kind of design here, like a turning, like an arrow, and then the other one you got the C with the X. The C with the X is pretty much it's gonna kill the starter. It's gonna stop the bike. In order to turn the bike on, you got to put your kill switch into the start, and then you got to push the starter button, which is down here. And your starter button, once you press the starter button, your bike should crank. Some bikes you got to hold it in neutral, like mine. I mean, not neutral, but the clutch lever to actually start the bike. You know, you turn the key, put your starter switch on. I gotta grab the clutch, and boom, there go my bike. It started. Cut the bike off. You can do that a couple ways. You can either turn the key switch, or you can hit the starter kill. So I'm gonna hit the starter kill, then turn the switch. Just know that if you leave the key on, your lights is gonna stay on, so you'll be killing your battery. Yeah. Most kickstands on sport bikes is on the left side. I think they all are. Very important that you know that this thing is down before you set the bike down. You do not want to fucking get off the bike with that thing up. And I noticed on a lot of bikes that do not try to drive with the foot stand, the kickstand down, because most bikes will shut off. And it's going to be a hazard if your bike doesn't shut off and you drive with that thing down. You're asking for an accident. Like I said, most bikes, when you turn the key, you got it on, and as soon as you try to put it in first gear, try to put it in the gear, excuse me, and your kickstand's down, your bike is going to shut off. So very important. That's a safety design that they made, so you don't fuck your bike up or kill yourself. So that's pretty much the basic controls of the motorcycle. They're very basic. Very important when you get a bike, you want to feel comfortable on it. Make sure you can handle the balance, because mostly about motorcycles, you gotta have good balance. If you don't have good balance, you're gonna fucking fall over somewhere at a light, when you're trying to slow down, traveling those speeds. You gotta have good balance. Anything else did I miss on the basics? Controls of the bike? No. Pretty much covered everything. Now, also, before you get on the bike, before you start riding, you just want to give it a good look over. Just make sure that, you know, your tires ain't fucked up. You know, make sure your chain's good. You know, make sure your turn signals work. Your headlight's good. You know. Like I say, just give it one good walk around. Make sure no one has been tampering with the bike. And, you know, and then you should be ready. Alright. So, mounting the bike. Now, most people you can get on the bike, yeah, from any direction. But for starters, you need to get on from the pretty much the left side of the bike, because that's the way it's tilted down. It's easier for you to climb on the bike. When you climb on the bike, you want to make sure that you have one hand on your one bar grip, put your other hand on the other bar grip. Make sure you're fully on it. Stand the bike up, straighten out your wheel, and then kick your kickstand up. You know, that's the best way to get on the bike. When you get off a bike, kickstand down first. Lay it down. Make sure your kickstand is down. Turn your wheel kind of to the left, so it puts more pressure on the kickstand, keeping your bike more stable. Keep your hands on the bars before you get off, so you have better control. And just release. You'd be amazed how some people get off a bike, you know, end up fucking that shit up. All right. And pretty much it for that section. So a quick review of the bike and the bike controls. We went over pretty much what's on the handlebars, the bar grips. You know, pretty much your left side of the bike is basically it's all about your shifting, your gear control, your transmission, and pretty much other stuff of the bike like your lights and your accessories, your lighting, actually your horns over here too, down here in the bottom. The horns usually mounted on the left side, so that's pretty much your accessory side and your transmission side. Your other side of the bike is basically your acceleration and engine control, and braking. You got your front brake, your rear brake, accelerator, pretty much your engine start and kill buttons over here. So pretty much in a nutshell, that's pretty much the controls of the bike. So that's it for this lesson. When you get a bike, make sure you look at it good. Know where your stuff is on the bike, because if you're on a bike and you don't know which side is your accelerator, which side is your fucking brake and your clutch, you're just gonna get in an accident. You know what I'm saying? Because if you grab a handful of brake thinking it's the clutch, you're gonna be fucked. So that's pretty much all I have for this video for these beginner riders out here. And I'm a beginner too, so I'm learning too, so don't feel bad, and I'll see you on the next lesson.